Hey, I know we are talking shortly about data security in Salesforce specific to financial services. And I know Platinum 7 and you've done a lot of work in that space. So I'm just curious if you want to give us a general point of view on what are you seeing as really important considerations for financial services customers?
Yeah, thanks, Saurabh. So what I'm hearing a lot about is at the moment with these large hacking groups that are attacking large customers with phishing using voice, otherwise known as vishing campaigns. And what they're doing is getting users to connect a hacked version of data loader or something else similar that will exfiltrate all the data in your Salesforce org that user can see. That's the important part, what that user can see. So what these hackers are doing are going after senior Salesforce users in your org, maybe administrators, and getting them to attach a dodgy app. And that is something which is fraught with danger, obviously. Connecting anything to your Salesforce org is not great. So there's a capability in Salesforce called the API access control. It's not activated in any orgs by default at the moment, but you can get activated in your org just by raising a tech support case, and we'll cover this in the call. But the ability that this provides is it will auto block any application that's not been approved. So instead of Salesforce being an auto allow, where any connected app can connect to your org, it's an auto block, which I think is key. And that's something which I think a lot of customers should be implementing today to actually make their environments more secure.
I agree. And I think a lot of it also requires that sort of governance control. This is such a great example of putting in a governance control that by default prevents people from accidentally installing something or just trying it out without realizing how much access this app can have. And that's what the API controls would let you do.
The API access control, it's an allow list versus a block list. And other things as well is obviously you need to still do best practice and minimize access for all users. So only let users see data they're supposed to see to do their job and no more. And I find a lot of my assessments, one of the critical findings is you've got very broad sharing rules across your org and everybody can modify everything. And that type of thing is not great, especially with financial services customers. You want to always try and put a community out there to let your users connect with you and share sensitive information over a community rather than email, because email, as we know, is very insecure. So you set up a community to make it nice and secure. However, accidentally, most of my customers who I've done assessments for, their configuration for communities allows for all community users to see every other community user's data, which is not great. And it's 60% of my customers who have communities have got misconfigured communities, which is a big number. And this sort of setting is something which needs to really be looked at to make sure that you aren't oversharing your information with external users.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think this is one of those really interesting areas because we work with a lot of banks, financial services, credit unions, and other entities like that. And one of the things that is remarkable is it's not the platform. Salesforce has all kind of knobs and switches to ensure that you can lock it down to the level you need. It's just knowing where to go and what to look out for.
That's totally true. And that's what my findings are. Salesforce does not have inherent issues. It's the configuration of the Salesforce environment which causes those problems. And that's where the shared responsibility model comes into play, because Salesforce is responsible about keeping the data you enter safe and secure. So it will make sure it doesn't get lost. They make sure they have lots of backups. They make sure things aren't being corrupted, et cetera, et cetera. However, on your side of the fence, you've got to make sure you're using Salesforce appropriately. And so the key thing is they do their thing, you've got to do your thing. And you can't blame the car manufacturer for you not wearing the seatbelt. They give you the seatbelt. If you don't wear it and have an incident, that's on you, not on the car manufacturer. A similar sort of shared responsibility model.
Absolutely. And for anybody who's watching this, we'd love for you to come join us for this webinar. The details are enclosed in the link below. And it's going to be a great conversation. I know Doug in Platinum 7 has done a ton of work with regulatory sector customers. We have been very fortunate to work with some of the largest enterprise customers in this space as well. And it'll be a great conversation. Bring your questions, your curiosity, and your skepticism. And we look forward to talking with you soon.